Hello, my name's Nathan. I'm the Volunteering and Fundraising Coordinator, and I'm here to talk to you about how to process a fundraiser if a student comes along and has had a fundraiser booked. And I'm going to do so with the help of my lovely assistant, Alex. Fantastic. So, a student has arrived for a fundraiser.
Hi, my name's Alex. I'm here to collect a fundraising bucket for the Opera Society.
Fantastic, Alex. So the first thing you need to do is check to see whether the fundraiser is on the fundraising log, which can be found in the S drive, in the Student Life folder, and then in the Everyone folder. And once you've got that open, you can check to see whether or not the student's fundraiser is in there. So you need to find the day's date, and I can see, yes, there is one fundraiser for the Opera Society booked under the name Alex. You will need to double check that the student collecting the fundraising bucket is a committee member of the society that they have mentioned. So what you need to do is open up the SAG list, which is also in the same folder as the fundraising log, and just have a look and see whether or not Alex's name is on there as a committee member of the Opera Society. And as we can see, it is. So we are good to go ahead with the fundraiser. As the student is hosting a bake sale, you'll also need to check that they have a bake sale poster. If they haven't printed their own one, Alex, have you printed your own one?
I have not, Nathan.
He's forgotten this time, unfortunately. We do have a laminated copy that they can take as well.
Thank you very much.
And you'll need to stick that up next to your bake sale. So a few other things you will need to check in the columns. So whether or not after-hours banking has been approved. So generally, most students will not have after-hours banking approved. However, if a fundraiser is taking place in the evening after a hubs desk is closed, obviously they're not able to then come and bank the money on the same day. And in those instances, they will have arranged in advance with the Volunteering and Fundraising Coordinator to either take the bucket home for the evening or to leave it at one of the late night venues, so the Vault or Guy's Bar. But you won't need to worry about exactly what the arrangement they've made is. You just need to check to see whether or not it has been approved. As you can see in this instance, it hasn't been approved, so we are expecting Alex to come back and bank his money on the same day. And the deadlines for when students need to bank the money are available in the manuals. It depends on which hubs desk you're at. For Bush House, it is 6 p.m. Other than on Sundays when it's 4 p.m. So let's assume 6 p.m. for today. I can also see that there's been a float approved. So this is for things like bake sales, anything where a student might need to offer change. In the past, students were sometimes digging into their fundraising buckets and getting change out of those, which is actually technically illegal. So we have now got a float system. So if you can see a float has been approved, there will be a float in the safe. It looks like this, and it will have some change in it, and that is for students who are doing things like bake sales, so that basically if a student gives them a note that they can change that, they don't have to be digging into their bucket, which they're not allowed to do. The instructions for how to use the float are written on the inside lid, so I will give that to the student to read while I continue talking you through the process. All the other details are here. You can see that the student has requested one bucket. So before you give the student their bucket and their float, you need to receive a piece of ID from them. So once you've checked that they are on the SAG list, we'll need a piece of ID as a deposit for the bucket and for the float tin. Thank you very much. So make a note of that. What you'll need to do is complete the blue section of the fundraising log when they come to collect their bucket. So you can see there's things like the hubs desk, the student name, their email address, the bucket number, which is written on the underneath of the bucket, so we can keep track of where our buckets have gone, whether or not the float has been collected, and whether or not an ID has been deposited, and lastly, your name. So once you've collected the ID, once you've filled in that section, you can give the student their bucket. In terms of preparing the bucket, inside there will be a banking form that they will need later, some cable ties to seal the bucket, and a sticker to seal the bucket as well. So put the banking form back in the bucket, lid on, you've got to align the holes, there we go, seal it up, and then place a sticker on the outside. So you've got the ID, the student has the bucket, the student has the float tin, and they're good to go. Alex, we will see you in a bit. Good luck with your fundraiser.